That's enough cat whispering from me. A lot of people are talking about writing Jordan Peterson's name on the ballot, and I think that's wrong. At least in terms of the Alberta election. He seems quite a formidable cat. And he's against identity politics. But he was never Freudian, was he? Because, there's id, ego, superego. Well, that id entity. What about superego entity? Or ego entity? Fuck that metaphorical shit. Get back, cat. Get back. Come over here. Come on. That was a good guy. Go get it. Come on. My cats. You got a lot to say, don't you? Yeah, you do. Okay, last time. You ready? Alright, take a break. Pseudonyms. My pseudonym is Swift Mulligan. That's not my real name. It's a pseudonym. Yeah. But, I went to go and vote yesterday, and my riding is not where I reside right now. Took me a very long time. As you can see, I got a haircut. I went to go see my ma before I went to go and vote. And, she had a little piece of hair on a string too, so I told her, I'd go down to the Fringe Hair Society down on 14th and 25th. So I went in there, right? They asked me if I wanted a certificate for whatever. I said no. Just donate that anonymously. This is not so anonymous that I'm bringing it up now, but for the sake of the narrative of my adventure yesterday, it is what it is. So I get there, and I began to walk down, because I don't drive. I got a class 7, but I don't have a van anymore. I went down, finally get to my riding, which the voting, the poll station there was Capitol Hill School. Anyways, I go in there. I'm dressed wearing this shirt here. Nice little dress shirt, because I was making it a big old formal friggin' thing. I made a big deal about going to vote. So I walk in. Before I got there, I got down to Brentwood, not Brentwood, 69th Street Station. Well, there was a poll booth there, so I went in there, and there was like a lineup, and it wasn't my riding. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take my chances and try to get to my riding on time. I got there around 5:30, 5:45, and there was no line. So I get to the poll booth. There's a black gentleman sitting there. He's looking for my voting card or whatever. So I give him my ID. Taped to the back of my ID is my social insurance number, and has a picture of my face on it and all this. It's even got the Albertosaurus on the side of it, which is like a watermark to prevent fake IDs, whatever. There's my name sitting on my ID, and he goes down with his thick accent I can barely understand, and he just going down, and he tells me I'm not on the list. Well, alright, I'm not on the list. Here's another narrative from about, we'll say 6 months ago when I was living in that riding. Um, there were little picket signs saying register to vote, register to vote. And so, yeah, of course I'm gonna friggin' vote. I mean, politics are fucking insane right now. So I go online, there's like abelections.com, whatever the website was. I don't remember. But I go on there and completely disorganized, bureaucratic website, and it says, "All right, well, punch in your ID number." So I do that, and they said, "Oh, well, you punched in something wrong. You're doing something wrong." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll put in the other number, which okay, maybe I put in the wrong number. I put that in. No, no. Well, try calling this number." So I tried calling the number. Dial tone. Complete fucking dial tone. There was nothing going on. So then I look back onto the website and I like make sure that the number to call is correct, and it wasn't. So I tried calling the correct number, got on the phone with the guy, and tells me, "Okay, well, you're all ready to vote. Yeah, yeah. Can't wait to see you on election, whatever." That's a paraphrase, so it's not precise, but that's what he said. And okay, so sometime in between then and moving to this present residence in the Northeast, I got into a conflict with my younger neighbor who lived downstairs. And, well, before I moved out, and I got a lot of help from some friends of mine, which I appreciate because, this is a very small room, let's say 12 square feet, and had a whole upstairs suite at that place, but the rent for that place was about $150 more than what I'm paying here. Anyways, I got into a conflict with the neighbor downstairs over, okay, well, yeah, you wanna piggyback on my internet connection, that's my name, I'll do it. He says, "Okay, well, how much is enough? Do you want 40, 50?" And I was like, "Oh, 40's fine." He was willing to pay it. No, I was paying close to 80 to about $100 a month for internet, because it was a high speed stuff. It was good. But then he gets a solicitor from the internet company, the ISP, and he goes with them, right? And then as I'm moving out, or I think I went to go collect something else or clean up, because cats are not very forgiving to carpets. As I go there, he asked me, "Hey, well, can I just pay the fee for the modem?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, okay, man. I'll like try and help you out." And then he kind of dropped off the face of the earth. He gave me his email address, and I wrote it down, and it got lost in the mess of my room. I assure you, cats, they like to go after stuff and play around, right? Like cats do. So I had to go couch fishing, for that little piece of paper that has his email address on it, so that I could talk to him about that. I mean, I even went out and did some snow removal for, it was about $150 a day, and the guy who was going to pay me under the table, he fucked off too. So anyways, I message him, the kid downstairs, about the price of the modem. It was way more than I was expecting. It was $150. And, hang on. So tell us they mailed me this thing to this address here because I had every intent of going down and collecting it and sending it off to them. I had every intention of doing that, but then that's when he told me, well, can I just pay the fee? And okay, so I find his little email address paper thing finally, and I message him, okay, man, I'd like to talk to you about this. And he's like, oh, okay, well, when is it due? I was like, well, frig, I checked the date, and it turns out it was a couple of days away, or it had already passed. It was 2 days late that I had brought it to his attention, but he told me that he was going to do this. And then he started backing off after I told him how much it was. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty pricey. Maybe we could work over something over time. How this relates is that, well, I sent him an email explaining that he had written confirmation of debt to me for the modem that's supposed to go in this empty box. And now he's hiding from me, right? Like a little bitch. Whatever. But apparently he's also hiding my mail. So I couldn't get my voter's card to go in. So now we'll come back to here. So there's a heavy accent black gentleman sitting at the thing. And then he's like, oh, well, I can't find your name on the list. And half of what he said I could barely understand. I had to ask him to repeat himself. Because his English, well, he could speak English, but his accent was very hard to, it was thick, I had to listen carefully and do my best. And he's like, oh, well, go talk over to her, right? She's like the other person, right? And so I go over, and then you see this glazed-eyed older woman with like very tiny pupils kind of staring at you. And look at me. I kind of look like Joe Dirt right now. But Joe Dirt wearing a nice shirt. Here, fuck off. So then she goes on telling me, oh, well, if you're not this, you're not that, then bureaucracy, bureaucratic comment, blah, 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 fuckity blah. So then there's this other guy comes up to me and he's like, well, okay, do you have a piece of mail that can validate your present address? Because I opened my big mouth and told him, oh, well, no, I actually moved addresses before coming to vote, but I was registered to this riding. Yeah, I wasn't on the list, right? So then he's like, trying to proffer different ways, right? And he's just like, I'm not trying to help you vote. I was just like, well, that's actually what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. I want you to help me to go and vote. And he had this, that, and the other fucking answer. And I got so irritated that this little friggin' beta fucking cuck amygdalic hijacked me over this fucking voting thing. So I got furious. And you can hear my throat is kind of, I'm a smoker, so sometimes, I got a lot of mucus in the back of my throat, so I'm like, and I couldn't actually, project my voice without being really fucking loud, and, or whispering, like you saw me doing with the cats, and, so I got furious, and he's like giving me bullshit answer after bullshit answer. Finally, I got fed up. I said, I think you're a fucking communist, to him, and I walked out. And then as I was leaving the Capitol Hill School gym, I was walking out, and there was this bystander there who was like the usher, I guess. She's like, oh, thank you, come. So I was like, yeah, to her. Yeah, I did that. And then I left. There was this lady on a bike talking to me about all this stuff. She's telling me, yeah, people should have the right to vote. Oh, well, yeah, especially if they got, like Alberta driver's license, right? It shouldn't be this fucking reach around where you have to go and do all these fucking different things. You should just be given the right to fucking vote. I was born in this damn city 29.9 years ago. Yeah, my birthday's in a month. Sans a day. But, so I couldn't vote. Though they needed a piece of mail or somebody who could vouch for me. So Oleg, he was, at first he was a bassist for my band, and then he was a drummer when our drummer, he passed away. And right now he's coming back because he got like arthritis in his neck, and I couldn't in any good conscience let him continue to go on as a drummer because arthritis, it could turn into like rheumatoid or what have you, and it could be very, very serious. I wouldn't want to be put in a position where I'd have to fire him on the spot because he was hurting himself. And he's coming in as a guitar, or at least that seems to be the case. I go over to his place, and he's there, and he's got his lady friend there, and they're watching Netflix. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to pull him away from that. Friggin' come and help me. Like he point out my name, and yeah, he can vouch for me. He's a citizen. I go home. Couldn't vote. They turned me down. No, all three of these people I described, they probably ascribe to identity politics. And I recently posted a comment under the band page on Jordan Peterson's Bell 16 court appeal video, right? That's on JPP's page. And I laid into JBP, but that was before I went to go and vote on the identity politics thing, right? Now, I said I compel you to refer to me by my pseudonym because of the horse shit that AHS at least has how it treats its crazy people. I'm a diagnosed schizophrenic, but then they tried to diagnose me with another mental illness, and the medication was wrong for that one, so they tried to re-diagnose me with something else, and then re-diagnose me with something else. And I know you all heard my shtick about endocrinological fuckery going on with Facebook. It started in 2004, and then in the statistics from the years 2003, 2004, the rates of mental illness going up have it went from maybe 3% of Canadians were diagnosed in mental health, and this was in 96 or 95. I'm not certain as to that accuracy, but it was like a small number, like 3.5. But then in 2003, 2004, the 8 years later, it skyrocketed to about 14% with social media platforms like Facebook being up. They have their little dopamine kicks for whatever, and I don't know if you're aware, but dopamine is the active neurotransmitter in which causes psychosis or psychoses, which is a symptom. Well, it's insanity, right? But don't let the crazy people vote.